Hello, hello everyone. Hello. Wow. The energy. Hello? Can everybody hear me out there? We're good? If everybody can start grabbing their seats, if there's any available. There should be, except those who snuck in. We can start grabbing our seats, getting ready to start the party. Dan Tafoya, where are you? What do we got?
This is the official one thing. The scarf.
Oh, yeah.
Then that means I gotta say Chevelle too, right? No, I said only Hendersonville. I'm only gonna say Hendersonville in their city. That's it. I see that Trevor Hayes, they didn't list the head of the league. Guy's sitting next to us. Heading up right now. Kevin Hayes, yeah. So maybe you want to add him. Nice.
Well, your son told me last time.
You got a pen?
I thought I did. Yeah, I do. Here's what it is, brother.
Okay. Everybody grab their seats, please.
Dan.
Yep. Hello, everyone. Is everybody networking and meeting new people? Governor? Hello, everyone. If we can start grabbing our seats. As you know, I try to always start and end on time, but I have a feeling today we're going to have so much fun. Let's not care about the rest of our day. How's that? Let's not. Carrie from the Vegas Golden Knights is over here sweating. Woo! All right, guys, let's kick this off. Andres Estrada, if you would join us, lead us in the pledge, please. Please stand for the pledge and invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our chairman, Dan Tafoya, will lead us in invocation.
Lord, today we gather in friendship and community as we come together as businesses, as organizations, to grow the kingdom of God. Lord, we thank you for all the people in this room. We thank you for this fabulous city. We thank you for these fabulous sports teams that we have with us today that are helping our city grow, that are inspiring our youth, that are bringing new well springs to our community, that are bringing new friendships to our community. And we thank you so much for that. And Lord, may you have mercy on the San Jose Sharks. Amen.
Welcome.
Go Knights! Go Knights! You want to hear it? Go Knights! Go Knights, go! Go Knights, go! Go Knights, go! Go Knights, go! And we'll get the chant for the Raiders too. We ain't lost that one yet. Thank you, Raiders! And we can't forget our Las Vegas Lights, our Las Vegas Aces. I mean, 2 years ago, a lot of this was a dream. And our president, Peter Guzman, was one of those people who truly believed. Even when a lot of people around the table were kind of, I don't know if that's going to happen, he was just enthusiastic. I can say that Peter's been number one fan of all of those teams since we heard about him. So, Peter, thank you for your vision and leadership in bringing the community together in what I would consider the power chamber, the premier chamber in this state. And we're just so glad to have all of you here with us today. Good friends like Tom Rodriguez, Randy Garcia. Our board's with us today. Board, I know it's hard to stand up. Just raise that hand. Give us a little wave there for our board members that are out here for the Latin Chamber of Commerce. I had a project last night that I was working on and kind of had the head buried in it and you know, had recorded the game. And my daughter, who loves to tell secrets, if you want something said, and spread around, just tell my daughter about it, and I guarantee you the word will get out. So where's mass media? You need her working with you. But she came in and she says, I can't contain myself. I got to tell you the score. I said, okay, what's the score? And she goes, 7-0. I didn't even know hockey went to 7, but that's really great to see that those great things we're doing. Folks, we're going to have a great afternoon. We got a great lineup for you. I have to thank our board, our executive board, and most of all, our president and staff, and our great partnership here at the Nevada State College, whose captain and leader is Bart Patterson. Bart, are you here? He had to step out. Busy man, but hopefully he's not bringing him the scorpions in here. So he always scares me with those. But in attendance today, and if I missed you, please send your card up and we'll take care of you. Representing Assembly District 23, Mr. Glenn Levitt. Mr. Levitt? Oh, thank you. In CD4 for Congress, Mr. Crescent Hardy. Thank you, Crescent. Board of Regents, Mr. Trevor Hayes. Trevor, too. All right. Joe Cato, candidate, University Regent, District 1. Joe, sir. All right. And of course, good friend, Stephen Horsford, Congressional District number 4. And you always got to bring the Marines along. Mr. Bruno Moya, representing Senator Dean Heller. Bruno, good to see you, Bruno. And in attendance with us today is President of the Board of Regents, Mr. Kevin Page. Kevin's here. Folks, it is a sincere honor and pleasure to serve as your chairman and to consider you all friends here. And with that said, I will turn this over to one of the hardest working men in show business, and he is.
Does not feel like show.
But I was told he was the new Mr. Las Vegas. I don't know if Wayne Newton's heard that yet, but anyway.
Comparing me to Wayne Newton, I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Oh, I'm singing.
Donka Shane. Go ahead, take it over. Enjoy the rest of the program.
Thank you, Dan. I want to say that, yeah, I work hard. I'm proud of that. But Dan Tafoya, he also works really, really hard for this chamber, so I'm grateful, Dan. Wow, this is exciting to look out in this room and see this all come together. This is just amazing. And, you know, I know we have a lot of friends out there, and I can't name everybody, but certainly while I'm in the incredible, incredible city of Henderson, I certainly will point out our great friendship with the Henderson Chamber of Commerce, Scott in particular, great friend. Please stand, Scott. Thank you for allowing us in your city. I got stopped right on the border there, and I mentioned your name, and they almost took me to jail. But I'm just grateful for all the friends and partnerships that we have here. Today is incredible to me. It's incredible because I've been in this city 47 years. I love this city. I love it with everything I got. I've raised my children here. My son Giovanni Guzman is here with me today. Stand up. This is the perks of being president. I'm grateful to have, raised wonderful children here in this community. I have a wife of 30 years. I mean, this is a great community. And to see what's going on now should make all of us so proud. We are now in the big leagues. We got sports like no one other, man. I was at the game last night, the hockey game. It was just incredible what the hockey's doing to our city. But all of these sports, baseball, NASCAR, I mean, you're going to hear from all of them today. And I'm just telling you, we must be grateful because as a chamber, we represent small business. So I could talk about it from a community standpoint, how proud I am. But I'm also proud that there are men and women look like me, look like all of us, working right now, building a Raider Stadium. They're working, they're earning, they're spending, all in our community. And because of tough negotiations from groups like the labor union, those guys, those guys out there are spending it in our community a little more. So that's awesome. And so that's what we're grateful for, right? It's economic development. And so, you know, when myself and Dr. Edith Fernandez and Amy and the whole staff out here from this wonderful college that we're standing in right now, when we started talking sports and economic impact, this is a no-brainer. Like, this is the conversation we should be having. And so I'm just proud that this chamber, the Latin Chamber of Commerce, of which our founder is here today, Otto Merida, deserves a hand. I've known him since I was 15 years old, and I'll tell you, he loves this chamber, and he taught me to love this chamber. And so I'm glad that I've been able to do my part to carry the mantle from him and try to take it to high levels. And we do that with economic development. That's what this is all about. All of this sports, it's exciting. It's putting us on the map, but you know what? It's putting people to work, entrepreneurs. Speaking of entrepreneurs, did anybody see the flowers out there? Those flowers, and I got to talk about this because I'm all about entrepreneurship. I was that kid selling lemonade. Didn't make much profit, though. But those flowers out there are from a girl named Gina May. Is Gina May, is she anywhere here? Gina May? Yes. Gina May got a grant and got busy. She's a young entrepreneur making those flowers out of paper, and she's starting to blow up. You can see her at the link right now. You can see her flowers. Soon you're going to see them at all the stadiums and all the games. We're proud of you, Gina. You make us proud. And before we get started, I want to point out, yes, my very, very newest member. And he's my newest member because I told him outside, you don't get in today unless you become a member. My attorney, Mark Risman. So just thank you for being here today. I want to introduce Dr. Edith Fernandez. And I say doctor. I say it proud. I say it loud. She's a Latina woman. And yeah, she's a doctor. Dr. Edith is going to introduce Dr. Edith is going to introduce a special guest that's going to talk for a couple minutes, and I'm grateful for the Peruvian Chamber to be here with us. They are under our umbrella. We're teammates, we're partners, and please stand, Peruvian Chamber.
Before Dr. Fernandez speaks, we do have a few other guests with us today, and that is Peter Marco Hernandez, but running for County Commissioner in District 8.
Commissioner!
Right.
Dr. Annette Trujero.
And also running for Congress is Dr. Annette Trujero. So, Annette? Good. You know, Edith has been super instrumental in this college. We're so proud of the work she's done, and she's going to talk about some of the statistics of how many Latinos that we're serving in this community. And one of the things that she may not mention, but I want to be the first to mention, is that Nevada State College was awarded $2.7 million as part of being for an HSI, which is a Hispanic serving institution, which does not only serve Hispanic students, it serves all students, but it's federal government. It's federal money from the government that allows the school to even expand its programs so much more to all students. And I'm very proud of her for doing that. She is Harvard trained. She is super smart, and that's why I hang out with her. Homegrown. And then she went to that other university that starts with an M, right?
Michigan.
We'll hand that one over to you.
What the heck? I'm supposed to talk.
Hold on. You know, I know I mentioned the name, but I didn't mention it enough. I'm going to mention it again. Running for governor of the state of Nevada. The governor of state of Nevada. I'm sorry, did I just call you? I meant running for governor. Steve Sisolak. He helped bring these sports here, trust me.
Wow, finally, I get a little airtime here. Before I actually do an official welcome to Nevada State College, I do want to welcome to the stage Council General of Peru, Hernando Torres Fernandez. It is with great honor that we receive you here at Nevada State. I know that you've traveled all the way from the north, even though your country's from the south. But please say a few words so that Las Vegas could get to know you as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I came from San Francisco last night. My jurisdiction is the north of California, but also Nevada, Oregon, Washington State, Alaska, Hawaii, Guam, and the Marian Islands. Very happy to be in Las Vegas. They told me that I should be very brief, so I just finished.
Everybody here speaks Spanish. So.
I know, no problem. Jokes aside, I just came. I'm impressed of this very distinguished guest here. And just to tell you two things. Governor Sandoval went to Peru with a very big delegation of around 50 persons to Peru, to Lima and Cusco, just a few months ago. And we discovered that there is a lot to do between Nevada and Peru, between Las Vegas and Lima. We have many things in common. Peru is a land of opportunities. It's a country that is growing since 20 years ago. It's growing 5% per year, more or less. We discovered many things in common. Lima is a city of 10 million people right now. It's the only capital city in South America in front of the sea. It's a gastronomic capital. It's called the gastronomic capital of Latin America, and we are having casinos as well. We are having each year more and more casinos, and it's a big opportunity for those enterprises related to casinos and amusements and hotels. It's a very touristical country as well. We have Cusco, Machu Picchu, the Incas, and we are a free economy, open market economy. And talking about the sports, Lima is organizing next year the Pan American Games. Pan American Games of 2019 are going to take place in Lima. So another big opportunity, and I congratulate, thank you. And I congratulate very much the hockey team of Las Vegas for what happened last night. Another second and last thing. With Chile, Colombia, and Mexico, these four countries, we created 7 years ago a kind of mechanism of integration, but a very serious and deep one called the Pacific Alliance. The Pacific Alliance is nowadays an enormous free trade area. It's the 7th economy in the world right now. And we have this absolutely freedom of movements of people, investments, commerce, capitals, and services. So I invite you to look a little bit about this very important group of countries that are working together and offering their economies to the world, the Pacific Alliance. Nothing else. I thank you very much. I congratulate you. And I please welcome to Peru. We will be very glad to receive you there. Thank you.
All right, me toca a mí. All right, my turn. As you know, I'm homegrown here, and I always like to make a shout out to Tom Rodriguez, my mentor, Otto Merida. As a young professional, these men gave me lots of support and have paved the way for where I am today. So gracias, gracias. Before we introduce the other teams, you need to know more about the home team of Nevada State, where you're at. Can I get a sense of who's is their first time to our campus? Raise your hand. All right. It's happening over here, isn't it? When you were driving, you're like, where am I going? And then when you got here, you're like, what is happening out here? So we've got it going on. If Peter's attracting Peter over here, that says a lot, right? So it's also a little bit tight in here, right? Because we're busting at the seams. We need buildings. We have 512 acres. So we need the community to imagine with us building out this campus. Imagine housing for students. Imagine a sports team. We need to build this together, 512 acres. We need a new education building. Erin Keller, she's fundraising $6 million. She can't do that alone. It's going to take everyone in this room. We need a school of education. And why? Because we're educating our own. We're 75% female here. And we know the ladies, when you educate a woman, you educate an entire family. So make that investment. Erica Arballo, she's up here in the front. Say hello, Erica. She's an education major. And she's also spearheading, as a student, a women's project. Because when you educate a woman, you educate a whole entire family. So let's invest in Erica. Let's make sure Erica gets that new building. Maida, please stand up. Maida is a business major. And she is president of the Latino Student Organization. And she came here to network. She wants to make sure that she has a path here because our students stay here. They're professionals here. They are the future of our state. We're 33% Latino. Yeah. 69% first generation. These are our kids. These are our future. And no, again, we're not just educating individuals. We're educating entire family trees. And we need you to build out this campus. So welcome. And this is just the beginning. We look forward for you to come every year and help our students and envision 512 acres. We need to build out this college. We're growing. We're the second fastest growing state institution in the entire United States. Our freshman class grew by 70%. We need your help. All right? Peter.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. I also want to say a welcome to, I know that Sunny from the Asian Chamber is here. Thank you for being here. Shondell from the Urban Chamber, thank you for being here. With that, I want to introduce our moderator so we can get started. But right before we do that, I think it's appropriate that we do a little surprise here because we wanted to give this man and his organization an award a few months ago, and then he got a little sick. Tommy, I know you need to start listening because this is about you now. It's about your labor group. Yeah, I keep telling you to slow down on that. With that, we're grateful, and he did. He got a pneumonia, and he went to the hospital. And I'm not trying to put your business out there, but so we held this award till now. So because I know how important the labor's organization, the laborers group were to bringing the Raiders Stadium here. I know that because I was in Carson City, and just a few of us testified, and Tommy was there. And as you know, Tommy's been on this Raiders, and he's very important to what has happened. And because of that, more things happened. Him and I became brothers, and his organization, the men and women of laborers, these guys, man, when someone's hurting, they're out there cleaning up yards, cleaning up alleys, doing whatever it takes. They don't get enough recognition, believe it or not, because when you learn a little more about them, you realize that they're always giving back. So today, we want to honor you. We were going to give this last year. You're our member. You're our member champion. And so, Tommy, if you'd come up. On behalf of Laborers 872.
Thank you. Is it? All right. So, I wish I would have known. I would have dressed a little bit better. We kind of shop in the same suits, so you'll see there's probably about 10 guys in here that are wearing the same suits right now. Gio, you want to stand up, please? It is. I have one too. I'm just not wearing it today.
Way to cross under the bus. You're putting my business out there now.
Really? I want to thank everybody for this and the Latin Chamber. And a very good friend of mine says, "Let people underestimate you," and that's kind of what we go by, and we've been going by that for a long time. We stayed out of the limelight in Las Vegas. We thought we didn't need to be in the limelight, and we didn't really realize, fighting for the Raiders to come here was going to put us in the limelight like it did. So, on behalf of my organization, not only myself, but all my guys, please stand. All Local 872 guys out here. Guys and women. This is like every day we kind of have this thing about making sure that we're doing something for the community, and it's not me, it's them, right? I'm just the guy that says let's do it, and it's all them that get to go out there into the community and do it for everybody. So we're here for everybody. We're here for the Latin Chamber always. We will get those gates finished in the front of the Latin Chamber sometime this week. But as things come up, we kind of got to do the really important things, right? So I want to thank everybody again. And yes, the date is from last year. And yes, I did get sick. So I'm not going to hold you guys up because I know Peter likes to get a lot of handshakes and a lot of applause. So I'm going to turn this back over. Thanks. Love you, buddy.
All right, we're going to keep it moving along. We got a real superstar here who's going to moderate this. This is a veteran from Broadway. This is no joke. This is the real deal. Star of Rock of Ages, currently MC of Magic Mike. Angela, didn't you take all the girls to Magic Mike recently? And he also is the voice for those who have been to the hockey game. He's the voice that gets you fired up. And I mean, he gets you fired up. Mark Chinook. Did I mess that up? Mark Chinook, right here. Voice of the Golden Knights to moderate the panel.
Awesome. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Can you hear me back there? Yeah, okay. I want to thank Peter and the Latin Chamber for allowing me to be a part of this incredible afternoon. I see a lot of familiar faces. I'm originally from a small town in Canada. Been in the United States 20 years, dual citizen, and my father bought a hockey franchise when I was a young kid from Phil and Tony Esposito, and I played in the Canadian Hockey League, and when I didn't become a pro, I was like, well, I better do something else, and I moved to New York City, and the rest is history. I've been an entertainer ever since. I've been 21 years in this crazy business, and I've been now in Vegas 5 years, and my wife and I have made it home. We're not going anywhere, and it is an honor to be affiliated with everybody here this afternoon, and a true honor to be helping moderate this panel. My wife always texts me before I go on and says, please do not swear when you're holding the microphone. And I just got that text again. I'm at these games, and it takes everything in my power to not curse in front of 18,000 people. And I will make sure that I do not curse here this afternoon, because the labor guys will take me out back and make me build a gate or something, because I guess there's gates that need to be built. So without further ado, let me introduce this incredible panel for you this afternoon, and we'll get this program started. He is my boss. He is also the president of the Vegas Golden Knights, Mr. Kerry Boobles. The president of the Raiders. I have to say Raiders, not Oakland Raiders or Vegas Raiders. We're just going to say Raiders. Mark Bedane. All right, settle down, or we're going to make you go build a gate. Player Programs and Franchise Development Manager of our Las Vegas Aces, Rusha Brown. General Manager, Vice President of Marketing of our Las Vegas 51s, Mr. Chuck Johnson. The owner of the Las Vegas Lights Football Club, Brett Lashbrook. And the Vice President of Public Relations for Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Mr. Jeff Motley. All right, let's get right into it. We'll start here with Kerry right up front. How do you grow a fan base in a town that's not traditionally considered a sports city?
Are you saying more like a hockey city or a sport? I think it is a sports city.
Well,
I'm
gonna comment on that.
I'm going to stay focused more just on the hockey part of it. First of all, there were, as we were doing a lot of our initial due diligence, there were actually a significant number, close to 250,000 people of the 2.2 approximate million people that we have in the DMA, that said they were at least fans of the game of hockey. And now they may have been from Detroit or Chicago or some of the other great cities around North America, but we already knew there was a strong base of knowledge of the game, but it's still not, not the entire marketplace. So we really took a different approach, and Mark's a part of that approach. We knew that this is the entertainment capital of the world. We knew that hockey by itself only appeals to a certain segment of the population, and we needed to put one hell of a show on if we're going to match the reputation of this great community and the entertainment experience that it is. And so we put together a plan. We sat down with our owner, Bill Foley, and said, look, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to take a significant investment on your part. But if we do this, we believe we can match that entertainment experience that this market is known for, and then we can deliver the game to that audience that may just be coming to check it out. And so far, it's gone incredibly well. The number of people that I've met that literally had never been to a game and or even candidly cared about hockey, now all of a sudden, they're some of our most deepest, most intense fans, and they're yelling at the television, and they're getting into it. So we're real proud of that. But really, it was about matching the entertainment reputation of our great city with a great show, and it's a lot of different things that happen at at T-Mobile Arena.
Mark, do you want to comment as well now that we're building a brand new stadium and what that's going to be?
Same question?
Same question.
I think I should just fire myself and hire him. I told my son, who's here with me, I feel like I'm sitting next to a pitcher that's throwing a no-hitter. You don't want to touch him. So congratulations. What you're doing is, it's never been done before. So enjoy the ride. My first year with the team was 1992, and we started off 0-4, so it wasn't as much fun as you're having. But we found very similar information when we were researching Las Vegas. Our process started essentially 2 years ago to the day, and we really didn't know that much about the city. We knew we had a fan base here, but we didn't know the extent of the passion of the city. So I agree with you. I do think it's a sports city. Then it's about taking your brand and integrating it into that city, and that takes investment, and that takes time, and that takes partnering with the right people and befriending the right people and learning where those pockets are that need your help and contributing to them from a community relations standpoint. The first executive I moved here was a VP of community relations, and she's been on the ground now for almost a year and really getting to know the community. And we joined as many chambers as possible. Peter mentioned being up at the legislative session, but he was around for a lot more than that, as well as you, Tommy. I mean, I know you hate getting credit, but the Laborers and Peter, they were loyal from day one. And so when they called and said, "Hey, can you join the chamber?" and they almost sounded hesitant to ask, I mean, it was just not a question for us. So we're looking forward to really getting to know as many people in this community as we can. We've been in it now for about 2 years, a lot more ingrained in the last year as you see the job site come out of the ground. We now have about 85 employees in town, so we have a pretty big footprint, and it's growing. We have people moving here pretty much every month. Pretty soon we'll break ground on a practice facility. So this is a pretty remarkable community and a remarkable sports town, and it's on us to keep making those investments.
Thank you. Bruce, I'm going to ask the same of you because you're about to begin. You know, your season starts, you're weeks away. And what's that been like, you know, trying to bring the WNBA? You obviously have a great partner in MGM, and you're about to begin. And what's that been like for you? Because this is your bread and butter, you know, bringing this brand new team, transplant, but a brand new team to Las Vegas.
You know, it's funny to sit here and listen to the gentlemen talk about the 2 years that they have because we got here in November. So our season starts in May, and we're like six months. Let's go. We'll figure it out. But I think the truth that was spoken is that this city was hungry for something, and you guys have already set the standard with the intensity and the enthusiasm that the Knights have brought. I was at the game last night, and I lost my mind. It was incredible. If you follow me on social media, you'll see everything. But we had an incredible time, and that type of atmosphere just shows that the people in the community are ready to support something. And we're happy to bring the WNBA here. MGM took it upon themselves to bring women's basketball to Las Vegas. And so we want... And moving into the 22nd year of the league is really important for us to set our foundation here in Las Vegas because we've seen it. The intensity is here. The people want to support. We've got a great group of young women, and we're led by Bill Lambier, the original bad boy. So we're excited to be here, and there's so much that we can be able to do, and it's going to be incredible.
I grew up just north of Detroit, so that was the only pro city that I was able to go to as a kid. So we saw the Red Wings, and we saw the Bad Boys. And when I met your entire team and Bill, it's a trip, and we are so thrilled to have you guys here. And I know this room, I have season tickets, so I will be there supporting you as well.
Awesome, thank you.
Right next door, Chuck, you know, I was able to throw out the first pitch at a few of your games. I've sung the national anthem. You guys have been here. What's it been like for you guys as an established franchise to now have partners like these three to your right embracing the city? And what is this done for you guys to expand on what you've already done? And obviously you can touch on the new stadium coming to downtown Summerlin. Settle down, Labor, settle down.
Thanks, Mark. You know, this is our 36th season in Las Vegas. Thank you. You know, to go through this community for 36 years in the entertainment capital of the world has been a lot of work for the staffs that has been around the whole time. Don Logan, our president, has been here since year 2. I'm here representing him. We've worked together for the last 20 plus years. But to welcome, you know, we had the Speedway show up now, how long ago? Almost 20? Yeah, 22 years ago. It's been great to now have Brett and his team over at the ballpark sharing our space. We welcome with open arms the NHL, the NFL, and the WNBA. What has made this community awesome and knowing the fan base that's existed. This city has always been entertainment first, big events. Now we have the opportunity to have more of these events more often. And if you haven't been to a hockey game, if you haven't been to the soccer game yet, you realize firsthand that it's fan experience. This is what we have to provide, especially at the minor league level. You're going to come to our games, and you're not going to know 16 of the 18 players that are on the field. But it's all about the fan experience. It's all about providing something to the community. We're all community assets now. It's the things that we can do with our families and friends on, you know, for our season on a nightly basis sometimes, weekly basis for others, seasonal for somebody else. But we all hold so many events going in and having the enjoyment and taking advantage of everything that we have to offer. I think fan experience and the amount of experience that our citizens have had and the residents of Las Vegas in attaining and visiting these top-notch events has really put us to the forefront, and we were ready for it from day one. We're looking forward to the Las Vegas ballpark that will open next season, and to follow in the footsteps, really, of what the bar has now been set so high with everything that Kerry and his team at the Knights have been doing from an entertainment standpoint. We're looking forward to it. Again, if you go see the absolute controlled chaos and fandom at a Lights game, it's incredible. So, we're in a great position, and happy to welcome everybody here to the sports family in Las Vegas.
Awesome. Your fan experience, I'm going to touch on it. You keep that dollar beer night going, your fan experience for me will be fine. It's fantastic. Brett, first year in Las Vegas, and your fan experience, obviously is unbelievable. As a former hockey player, I played football, I'll say it correctly, in the off seasons to stay in shape. What's it been like for you guys now to obviously share a building with these guys, but bringing professional soccer to Vegas?
So it's been great, right? If you haven't been out to a game, please come out to a game. We got a game tonight. I got to put that plug in. But I'll just build upon what everyone else has been saying. We are a sports city, right? And those that know me know this is one of my favorite sayings. Raising tides raise all ships. I get this question so often privately. Whew, Raiders are coming. Oh, Golden Knights. And you know what I say? Fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. We are the sports and entertainment capital of the world. The more, the merrier. There is so much going on a Saturday night here. We're not worried about each other, right? We're worried about ourselves and doing something. There's 2.2 million people here. To me, the question really should be is, what took so long? Why did it take 20 years for the rest of the world to catch on to what we're doing here? As far as the fan experience, we each have our own, not to sound like a talking head, but we have our own value proposition here, right? Of sport, time of year, location, price point, what that experience is. Is it more international, more Americanized? There's room for all of us here, right? And I think soccer, Las Vegas is the second largest city in the entire world without a professional soccer team. And so this town has embraced us, but it's not a surprise. This has been happening around the world. And it's the same thing. I know we're all surprised about the success that the Golden Knights are having, but why? There's 2.2 million of us here. Of course we can support it, right? And so I think that's more the theme of what took so long. Now that we have it, let's catch up for all this lost time.
Amazing. Finally, Jeff, to get to you down on the end, NASCAR is no joke. It's an unbelievable sporting event. I was just there at the last race, and it is probably one of the craziest fan experience, as we're talking about fan experiences. But you guys have had a presence now, you said 22 years in Las Vegas, and NASCAR has a massive following. What is your take on how you see now the success of the Golden Knights, the WNBA, with soccer beside you? We've had the 51s. To be a part of this family now with you guys being sort of our backbone.
Well, thank you guys first off for having me here, and Peter, thank you guys for including us. Our friends at the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority kind of termed the term Team Vegas, and I think that's something that we have all embraced is the Team Vegas. If we'd had this meeting 2 years ago, other than you guys wanting to be here to have a nice lunch, Chuck and I would have been sitting around a cocktail table talking to you. That's it. Now we've got 4 professional teams that have added. And think about what else has gone on here over the years, whether it's the college basketball tournaments, we have a PGA golf event, the NBA Summer League, and Team USA's Olympic team. They train here. We have Big League Weekend with Major League teams. Name me another city that has every single professional sport you can possibly think of that comes to their town every single year. And I think that's one of the great things that our town has been able to establish. Now, we are a little bit different from the others in that they are all teams. Now, Mark's going to be in a little bit of a situation with us that he's going to have both a facility and a team, and we're more of a facility. So we bring in a traveling road show that now comes in twice a year, which we're really excited that in September, and it will be right on the Mexican Independence Day weekend, we'll be having our first ever NASCAR playoff race, and so we are really, really excited about that. And we've been able to take our drag strip and expand it to 4 lanes lanes, which is something only 2 drag strips in the entire country have. So while there's a lot of newness going on here in Las Vegas with our teams, between Chuck's Ballpark and the modifications we've been able to make and the events we've been able to make, we're kind of proud to be part of the newness as well, even though we've been here for 22 years.
Great. I'm going to go to a couple of questions here that were scripted for me from the chamber, and specifically, how can Latino businesses, leaders, members of the community, stakeholders, more broadly, partner with sports franchises for a mutually beneficial arrangement? And we'll go to Ruscio in the middle. We'll start with you on this. So again, just to repeat, how can Latino businesses, leaders, and members of the community, stakeholders, partner with franchises for a mutually beneficial arrangement?
Just in coming in under MGM, it's most important that we have diversity and inclusion. So what we want to do is to make sure we give everybody an opportunity to partner with our organization so that we can be all represented. As far as the businesses coming in, there are so many opportunities for sponsorship, for partnership, where you can come in and get your banners and everything in our newly renovated facility at Mandalay Bay. There are opportunities to partner with the teams. We support smaller businesses as well. We just had an event out at Born and Raised in Henderson this week because we want to support everyone. So the opportunities are there. We've got a wonderful table back here who'll be able to support if there are any questions further. But we want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity so that everybody can have a stake in this game.
Let's go down to Chuck, right beside you.
You know, I echo the sentiments from Russia. The opportunities for small, medium, and large businesses to partner with our organizations on a sponsorship level really gives you the opportunity to reach out to hundreds of thousands of fans. The interaction between the fans that come to visit to the games gives you an opportunity to do a little bit more and have the ability to reach out and to touch interested parties, to promote your services, promote the employees that you have, and things upon that nature. You know, we, as part of minor league baseball, were fortunate last year to be part of a pilot program that we recognize the need to not be a part of a changing demographic, but be a part of a demographic that has changed, that is is inclusion of so many different people, that we were fortunate to participate in Divertido Ser un Fan, which is, it's fun to be a fan. It's a baseball initiative for minor league baseball where we've changed our name. We have a new identity on Tuesday nights. And we go from the Las Vegas 51s to the Reyes de Plata, which translates Silver Kings. It plays off of the nickname of the state of Nevada, the Silver State. And, you know, the impact that the Hispanic and Latino immigrants had in our mining industry. So we utilized that. We were one of 4 teams last season. This season, there's 33 teams across the country that are participating. So there's avenues within our individual games to be part of that, but also, again, on the sponsorship side to look at what we have to offer, the variety of games, the fan bases, and everything. So we welcome with open arms opportunities. You know where to get a hold of us all, and we're all looking to, you know, further put our feet down in every aspect, every chamber, and you know. Thank you for all the participation.
I'm gonna come to Carrie on this one, and this is a great question because I'm right there with you. It's, what do you see as a breakdown between residents and visitors to our games, and to what extent do you expect that Las Vegas will draw more visitors to a home game than, per se, other cities? And we've seen this now 41 times in the regular season.
Right. You know, just in terms of Mark's question, it's one that in some instances we actually didn't get great feedback in terms of more of the national media that's out there that covers hockey. They were actually looking at that as more of a negative on our franchise because we had these terrific, deep-rooted fan bases from markets like Chicago and Detroit and St. Louis and Boston and Montreal and Winnipeg and all around North America that when it came time to play in Las Vegas, they were coming to our city to attend the Golden Knights games. And the narrative with some of the national media for me was real interesting because they never really took the time to ask me, is that something that is a negative for your business, or is it something that is a positive? Because from day one, we went out to the market and said, look, we've got a 90+% of our fans that have bought tickets are actually from Las Vegas. But we're going to be the most welcoming visiting team in the National Hockey League. We're a destination city, and so during the regular season, through our partner at StubHub, we were very aggressive in promoting that if you're a visiting fan and you want to come see your team play in Las Vegas, we're going to be supportive of that opportunity. We're going to help connect you. We're going to sell group tickets, and we're going to make sure that your experience for a Golden Knights game is a fantastic one. Not to mention, and this is my opinion, I felt like it added to our fan experience. I think it made for a better environment. At least on the team side, the visiting coaches, the visiting players would say that's like a playoff atmosphere. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that you had these deep, passionate fan bases. They're coming in, and in some ways, they're challenging our fans to be more loud and more aggressive and more into the game itself. And so I think it really added to the overall fan experience during the regular season. And again, it was one that we promoted, and it's one that we're going to continue to promote as we evolve and move forward. It doesn't mean that the fan base is not deep. It just means that we've encouraged those fans, where appropriate, go ahead and resell your tickets if that's something that's important to you. And again, we're going to provide a welcoming environment. With that being said, it's the playoffs now. And so...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we have our beards going. You know, I'm going to comment here. I normally am not like this. This is a hockey tradition.
Yeah.
Carrie's partaking, as am I. I'm
Yeah.
trying. I've got patches.
So it's the playoffs now, and sat down with our owner, Bill Foley, sat down with our general manager, George McPhee, and said, look, this is the playoffs. I know we talked about, hey, we'll take their commerce and we'll take their points during the regular season, which we did and we loved. One of my favorite things is seeing someone stand in a Red Wings jersey, stand in line to buy a Golden Knights jersey. It happened every single game. It was fantastic. But now it's the playoffs, and we're playing for a different prize. It's called the Stanley Cup. And so we put together a process and really try to reward our fans, our members, with the opportunity that what we call the Knights Vow. And basically the Knights Vow said, look, we're going to give you the best price if you agree not to resell your tickets. And I had a chance to have a conversation in the first round with the CEO for the LA Kings, and he said, wow, that Knights Vow seemed to be working pretty well. I didn't see a lot of our fans here. How many do you think were in attendance? And I said, don't take this the wrong way, but we had more Carolina Hurricanes fans than we did LA Kings fans. And so it absolutely worked. They were measured in literally a handful versus thousands at some instances during the regular season. And so it's something that, again, is a part of who we are. We'll continue that going forward. But while it's the playoffs, we want Golden Knights fans there, and it's made for a great atmosphere. So for all of you that are a part of that, thank you.
Take the Knights fan. I had, when we played the Toronto Maple Leafs on New Year's Eve day, we had more Toronto fans in the arena that you could count. It was a sea of blue, and they all said, it was cheaper for me to fly here from Toronto and buy a ticket to the Golden Knights game than it was for me to walk down Yonge Street to Air Canada Center and buy a ticket. So that says something about Las Vegas and all of our hotel rooms and being such a destination point for a vacation. So I think all of our franchises up here are going to benefit from the fact that people love to vacation here. Now they have an excuse to come and see possibly a team that they can't necessarily have access to, like the Red Wings or the Blackhawks or the Toronto Maple Leafs. And we saw all those jerseys in the arena. It made my job challenging, but he's spot on. It really told our fans what to do, because when there are 3,000, 4,000 Toronto fans chanting something that's been implemented into their culture, you know, the Red Wings have a chant, the Blackhawks have a chant, the Leafs have a chant. And when the Golden Knights fans see this, they're like, hey, we got to get our act together here. And when we coach them just a little bit on the entertainment side, it's amazing to see what happens.
Mark, I just want to add, there 29 of the 30 teams that visited Las Vegas, their fans were spectacular. There was only one group of fans, and I apologize to the city of Philadelphia, but those Flyer fans are crazy. And they were not the most hospitable group that we had. They were pretty cocky off of winning the Super Bowl championship like 2 weeks earlier. So, but 29 of the 30 were fantastic, and they're always welcome in our great cities.
They're not playing anymore, and that's all that counts. I want to toss a question to Mark, because you commented you made a comment about how you've had somebody on the ground here for about a year with community, and there's a question here: how do teams invest in community development, and reach underrepresented communities to stimulate growth, sustainability, and livability. So you mentioned you have somebody here already for almost a year and a half now.
Yeah, we have a pretty robust community relations department. We've also moved our foundation director and his staff are here. We have an event next week at Top Golf to benefit Veterans Village, and it really just is about resources. It really is. It's about resources, and then it's about finding the right areas and who has the most need. And how that matches with your organization and the awareness that you can bring to that cause. But it's something that's always been very important to the Davis family. Mark's father, Mr. D, he never liked to pat himself on the back, but he did a lot of things for a lot of people without ever getting recognition. And Mark's a pretty humble guy for those of you that have met him. And he was one of the first people on the ground here after the tragedy in October. And he's not really one that's worried about profit, and so he's allowed us pretty unfettered access to grow that community relations department and to hit as many causes as possible. And he'll be on the glass on Saturday, so you can keep an eye out for him.
I've seen him a few times. I'm gonna step off the stage, and I'm gonna come down into the crowd here. So if anybody has questions, we're gonna now open up the floor for a few minutes, and this is where I get my cardio in for the afternoon. Just a quick introduction, your name and a question.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, my name is, excuse me, Dave Seifert. I'm the proud husband of Anna Seifert here. I'm really her chauffeur. Retired military. My question goes to all of you. It's more of a statement. Pardon me. You know, when I grew up as a kid in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, my family wasn't real well-to-do. I mean, we were okay. And there was a club called the Boys Club. And one of the things that they associated with was the Milwaukee Braves at that time. And there was within the Milwaukee Braves Foundation, a activity called the Not-Ho Club. That's Not-Ho. And what it enabled is our youth, the children, to get tickets to games for unbelievably low prices. Although you sat in the sunbathing section bleachers, and nonetheless, to me, made me a real strong fan of baseball. And I think something that I challenge everybody here is to think about our youth. What can we do to get these kids active in this? Because look, the ticket prices, many of us, yeah, we can afford them, but a lot of families can't. A lot of these kids can't. So is there something out there that we can do to bring the people in, the young people into not just our fantastic NHL and Raiders and everybody else like that, but the soccer, the Women's Basketball Association, and so on. Allow them to see these games at a price that they can afford, and a price that they will remember, and a price that they will carry forward to their children and grow that fan base we're talking about. Thank you.
I can.
Yeah, if you guys want to comment on programs, because I know most of the organizations up here have programs addressing this issue. So if you want to just hit on those.
I think that's important. I mean, I think we're seeing that across all sports now. I mean, for example, at the Speedway, kids that are 12 and under get in free to every single event that we have, with the exception of the actual NASCAR Sunday Cup Series race, and they get in for $10 if they're 12 and under. I think we've also seen, I believe it was the Baltimore Orioles that is letting kids in now that are 10 and under for every Orioles game, even if they're playing the Yankees or the Red Sox. I mean, I think we're starting to see that trend through sports all across the country, because we do know that most people, most of the reasons that we are all fans of whatever sport it is that we enjoy, it's probably because our mom or dad took us to a game when we were a kid. And I think all of us that run sports venues or oversee sports teams, we understand we've got to get the kids out. So I can't speak to the other programs that everyone else is doing, but I can tell you it is something that our entire company and all of NASCAR, so when I say that, I don't mean Las Vegas Motor Speedway only. Every NASCAR race from sea to shining sea, it's free every day but Sunday, and it's $10 on Sunday if you're 12 and under.
And regarding the WNBA and the Aces, the main thing that we've done since we've been here has been out in the community. We support all the youth basketball associations and leagues, and we get out there and we have ticket sales and we have group sales, and it's really affordable. You can get a season ticket to our games for less than $300. So that's a regular person. So for the kids, it's an even better opportunity. So we make sure that we give them exposure. We'll have programs where we're mentoring and building relationships so that they want to come to the games as well as with their parents. But it's super, super affordable. So we make sure that we get it out there and let them see it.
Carrie?
Just from the Golden Knights perspective, and I appreciate your point. I actually remember the Knothole Gang, and that was an incredible program when I was a little kid as well, and probably why I was such a big baseball fan. From our team, there's two programs I wanted to mention. One, we've got a great partnership with MGM, and they actually buy 100 tickets a game, and they make them available. It's actually through their organization, but you could go to our And you're awesome, Peter. You're our new PR guy. That's fantastic. But MGM has done a terrific job, and they literally there's kids in those seats every single game. They work hard at it. Even as we got to the playoffs, we're like, well, the prices are going up. Do you want to not do it? Nope, we're in. We're all in. So MGM, I do appreciate their investment and the work that they put into making sure that the right kids are in those seats, and they're getting an experience that maybe they otherwise couldn't afford. The second thing is, and this is really on the National Hockey League, when they went through their process several years ago with the players, we have a new collective bargaining agreement going back to 2012, and one of the key components was every practice for the team is open to the public. And that was something that I think it was a really interesting thing, and we've seen literally hundreds of people that have come out to City National Arena, which is our training center in Summerlin, but the majority of the people that are coming are kids, and they're getting an opportunity literally up close and personal to see these great athletes do what they do. And then after practice, we have an area, and I got a lot of thank yous from other teams around the country saying, I've been thinking about that forever, but you guys were the first ones to actually do it. I got so frustrated one day I saw an adult push a kid out of the way to get an autograph, and I lost my mind. And I said, that's it. And so our autograph area is 14 and under only. And that's right. And so literally after every practice, there's a minimum of 5 guys that sign. And then, even though he's going to be in the Hall of Fame here shortly, and he's probably our best player, Fleury comes out and signs literally every single day. He does it because he wants to, not because he has to. So he's tremendous.
Hi, my name is Dr. Annette Tejero, and after 42 years of being a Nevadan, I'm excited to see all of you up there. My question has to do, it's actually not a question, it's a suggestion, because we do have a problematic education system. Our public school education system is kind of at the bottom of the country, and I would love it if all the teams, all the franchises that are out there can create some kind of coalition where your players go out and present into the public education, the K through 12, and get our kids motivated about success. Because that's what sports is about. It's about success and competition, and perhaps that would help. Because I love seeing you guys, but I think the kids will probably be more motivated too.
We have a question over here.
How's it going? Not much of a... Hey, Gary. Everybody, Brett. Not much of a question. My name is Arturo Castro. I am a proud board member of the Latin Chamber and a member of the community. My family has been in this town for 20 years. And I just want to thank you guys. This is such a humbling moment. Thank you guys for integrating within our community. This is something that was never seen before. And the fact that you guys are here, with everybody here today, this is an amazing moment. And it's a thank you, Peter, for putting this together. This is amazing. And just really an applause to all of you guys for bringing the sports to Las Vegas.
Am I coming over here?
I was going to chase you.
Thanks, Mark. I just want to make a comment about when you ask about, so I'm Steve Sislak, for those of you who I haven't met yet, but when you ask about what they're doing in the community, let me tell you something. On 1 October, every one of the individuals that are up here that represent the team stood up. They provided money, they provided resources, they visited people in the hospital, they visited people, our first responders at the community centers. Every single one of these partners in our community stepped up, and I'm so proud that they all call Las Vegas home.
Jeff, Shondell Newsom with the Urban Chamber. So one of the things that we had the pleasure of doing is visiting the track during NASCAR. You have an amazing diversity program. Can you elaborate on that and tell everybody what you guys are doing around the country?
Well, one thing that we've been very fortunate is we've got a NASCAR driver now in Bubba Wallace, who Bubba's going to be not only is he a great driver, but he's an even better person than he is a driver. And I think he has galvanized a lot of people, and he has brought a lot of people together. And we've gone through, over the years, we've had a number of African-American drivers, but nobody, I think, that has galvanized the sport like Bubba has. Now, maybe you can go back 40 years and 50 years and you talk about Wendell Scott, but the sport was not nearly at the level that it is now with the network television coverage and the national media coverage. And I think that has made things much more inclusive. And I think that what we're seeing now at all events all across the country, I think, is that we're seeing not just Bubba Wallace, but we're seeing a Daniel Suarez, who was born in Monterrey, Mexico, racing. We had Juan Pablo Montoya racing, who came from Colombia. So what we found is that while NASCAR was, at one time, it really was just this southern sport, I think we're finding, because we've got drivers now that are very diverse, that it's making our fan base much more diverse. It's making our marketing partners. The fact that Aris, which is owned by Carlos Slim, has gotten involved in NASCAR, I think that is a huge step for everybody. So I think that what we're seeing is, because we've got these drivers, maybe some degree what Tiger Woods did for golf. You know, if Bubba Wallace starts winning races, he could do the exact same thing for NASCAR, and we'll only see it continue to grow.
Just over here to the left of the stage, or right down front there, yeah.
Hello, my name is Dr. Chantel Marshall. I'm a psychology professor here at Nevada State College. There are actually, I'm one of the other Latinas with a PhD here. There's a number of us, and we're just growing the number because our students are getting into PhD programs too. So my question is actually on behalf of our students. Now that these franchises are growing, what kinds of majors should they be majoring in? What kinds of opportunities should they be trying to get during their undergraduate years? And what opportunities might you have for them if they wanted to get involved in your franchises in any aspect? Because our students are mostly first gen. They like to know what jobs they can get. They're like, what am I going to do with psychology? So if we can point them in a direction and say, hey, these are the kinds of things people like you are looking for, it would really help us out and help them out. Thank you.
Right, why don't you take the lead on that one?
Yeah, I'll say experience, right? It's not just education, but it's also those internships, right? And everyone here is approachable, right? It's those students coming up to us and showing that to try and get those experience. I can speak for the Lights. We are seeking out local help at every single level, right? We want to be out in the community. We want to help grow this. We would love to work with your students. We'd love to work with them more and more. To speak directly to the students, my biggest advice is be more assertive, right? There is almost a generational gap here that I've seen, as I know I look young and I don't want to sound like the guy, but be more assertive, right? Seek it out. If you want to work in sports, go do it, right? This is your opportunity. Get the education, but also go get that experience. And volunteer. All of those things. I know I speak for everyone up here. We're always watching, right? And we may not have a job available today, but we do in 6 months. And we are 9 times out of 10, we're going to give it to that student that volunteered 6 months ago, stuck around, and we know their work ethic, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the students in the room. Come up to us, volunteer, and show that assertiveness.
Rusha, do you want to comment on this as well? Because, you know, obviously with a women's pro sports team coming to town, the only one, young women looking up to these professional athletes is no joke. I'm a big fan. I met them all at the St. Baldrick's head shaving event where we raised a ton of money. What's it like, you know, and to answer her question, for young ladies in Las Vegas?
You know, it's incredible because we want to provide role models. And it's really nice to hear somebody ask this question, because what it looks like is when people think about a sports entity, they always think about the athlete. But there's so many other jobs. There's marketing. There's commentating. There are lights. There's behind the scene, in-game. There's so many different opportunities. So I could say that you could parlay any major into an opportunity, so long as you do, like Brett says, you have to be assertive. You have to volunteer. You have to do different things. And as an example myself, I played the game, but it took me 15 years to get back in the front office, to get into the front office, because I had to continue to do things to let people know that I was serious about making a difference. So whoever has that opportunity or whoever has the instinct to do something great and want to do something with the game, you got to be doing it. Whatever that is that you're interested in, do that and people will see you. They'll pay attention to your work ethic, and that'll make it easier for someone to put their hands on you once you get the opportunity.
I just want to echo a few of those things. And if the goal is to get into sports, one of the benefits of what you're seeing up here is there are now 5 teams represented up here and multiple facilities. So in addition to the sports teams and the needs that we have from a staffing standpoint, all the events that are going to be at these venues require staff. And while it may not be glamorous work, and it may not be delusions of grandeur, and we get a lot of people who walk in at 22 and we say, what do you want to be? I want to be the general manager. And maybe someday they'll be the general manager, but it's important to start somewhere. Our organization is littered with people that started as game day employees. We have what's called an ambassador program, which is all part-time employees. I think we have about 60 of them here already, all trying to get their foot in the door and all trying to learn a little bit about the different departments that we may have, and we haven't even opened the building yet, and that'll give us a whole nother influx of staff needs. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities in this community, and you just have to be willing to be aggressive and to start somewhere.
Yeah, I echo what Mark says and what Brett says in Russia too. See, minor league baseball, we have winter meetings happens every year around the country. Really excited and proud that this December, minor league baseball's winter meetings and Major League Baseball's winter meetings will be here second week of December at Mandalay Bay. The opportunity that exists for students and that want to get into sports is there's a job fair. There are 160 minor league baseball teams plus the 30 major league teams. Almost all of them have job announcements at this job fair. It is important for you to attend. You'll be invited to go to some of the seminars that take place. You learn about not only baseball business, but actually what encompasses the entire sports business industry. Things that you'll learn at these events can really be translated across the board. And I echo kind of the examples that Brett said. There are, to be assertive, to get your degree, to gain experience, these are all things that we look for. And there's opportunities within our organizations and across the country. So I encourage any students that are here to, as they say, put your nose to the grindstone. Do the best you can while you're here at school. Make the most of it. Make the most of the contacts you meet at chamber events like this. Again, we are here. We all have email addresses. We're all approachable. We're all at every single one of our own games, so you can track us down in the stadium if you want to get that way. But just want to let you know that this December, look up minor league baseball's winter meetings, and there'll be plenty of opportunities for you.
We got one more question on the floor.
Thank you, Daniel Alexander of MGM Resorts. Quick question, but maybe a funny one. Do any of you believe in the Vegas flu? And in terms of that, what would you say to protect home court, home ice, home field advantage? What kind of steps or tricks are you doing to keep that crowd just going and then keep the opposing players at bay?
So I'll just chime in quickly. For those of you who don't know what it means to have the Vegas flu, it's the distractions that Vegas offer. And we joke about it with opposing teams. You see the media write it about a lot, where visiting teams who come to play the Golden Knights choose to stay. For example, I believe the Detroit Red Wings stayed at the Red Rock to not stay on the Strip. They still got their butts whooped, so it didn't really matter. But the Vegas flu is in reference to, gambling, partying, eating way too much, and being distracted on coming to a city to play a pro game when you sort of lose sight of what you're there to do. So that's the Vegas flu reference. Rusha, you want to start?
Yeah, I will. I came from Atlanta, Georgia, and for those of you who don't know about the South, our city had a similar issue, and so whenever a team would come in, the city was known as the sixth man. So for the opponents, we don't really care about them. But for our girls, we have meetings to let them know, like, this is what our expectations are. We set the standard for what we're supposed to do, why we are here, and what our goals are. So we'll be spending a lot of time together and making sure that they have limited access to certain things.
We got one last question right here.
Well, thank you for giving me the privilege of having the last question. A professional right here is going to teach me how to do this. My last question is for somebody who is so exciting and can sell a vision and can build a super fan, and that is Mr. Brett Lashbrook of the FC Lights. Mr. Lashbrook, Brett, how can we get more involved in the 2.5 hour pre-party? Tell us a little bit more about that. How can we do business there? How can we just really exploit that great event that you have?
So first of all, Peter's been fired. You're the new best hype man, right? So thank you for that.
Thanks a lot, bro. Thanks.
Sorry
Peter's
about that,
standing
Peter.
right there, and I'm standing right here. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think what he's talking about is, it goes back to what I said before. We all have a unique value proposition here, right? But we have this international sport, right? And we have this opportunity. I know we can provide something so different than what has ever been provided. Even though we are the sports and entertainer capital of the world, we can provide a little slice of what it's like to go to a game in Mexico City, in Buenos Aires, in London, in Barcelona. We have our fans singing and dancing and drumming and trumpets and streamers and confetti and all this stuff. It's this international sporting event, right? And we've partnered with Zappos to basically take, what's good and bad about soccer is it's 90 minutes and the clock doesn't stop. So we went to Zappos and said, we want to create this into a 4 or 5 hour footprint. And we've partnered with Zappos outside the stadium to create this, take a little bit of international sport and that American sport, right? With the food trucks and the music and the games, and of course the Zappos llamas. Those of you that know us know our love of llamas. And so we've really created something that's just really, really different and traditional, and where we can bring together that working class family of North Las Vegas, that soccer mom of Summerlin, that hipster of downtown, because they all have something about soccer. Everyone in this room has a connection to soccer, and we allow you for 2 hours to experience what you've been seeing on TV for all these years, what you've heard about from people in other cities and other markets, and to go ole, 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 and to cheer for Vegas. I think that's the secret sauce of what we're talking about here when we create that 5 hour party around a soccer game.
All right, everybody, time is up. I want to thank our panel, Jeff Motley from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Brett Lashbrook from the Las Vegas Lights Football Club, Chuck Johnson from the Las Vegas 51s, Rusha Brown from the Las Vegas Aces, Mark Bedane from our Raiders, and Carrie Bubos from your Vegas Golden Knights. Peter.
Okay, stay seated. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. Stay seated, please. We're almost done. 3 more minutes.
I would be remiss if we did not recognize our men and women in uniform that fight to defend the right to be able to have sports, to be able to go wherever we want to go and say whatever we want to say with the freedom that we have. Please stand up, United States Army in the back. She still is. Give us a wave back there. Thank you for your service. Also with us today is Irene Cepeda, running for District D. She's running for a great school board, a great school district. Irene, thank you so much. And also in the back, we have Mr. Danny Tarkanian, who's also running for office as well. Danny, thank you back. Thank you.
Well, I like to end on time, normally by 1, but I knew we'd go to 1:15. But this was such an awesome event that how can we end it? So I want to say the last few words. I want to thank so much Nevada State College. I mean, my God. So Amy, raise your hand, Amy. I want everybody to check out Amy's belt. And I say that because that belt is awesome. That belt, for those, some won't know what I'm talking about. Some maybe are historians of Las Vegas. That belt was given to her mother-in-law from Jay Sarno. Anybody remember Jay Sarno? Well, Jay Sarno and her mother-in-law had a wild romance for many years. I love Vegas stories, man. Love Vegas. Everybody's busy. Listen, I got permission for that story, okay? I want to thank Dr. Adith Fernandez and Amy, we have a plaque for you that we want to give you. Come on up real quick. And before you guys leave, while they're coming up, underneath your table, there is Nevada State College swag in a bag for you to take. Swag under the tables. That's what I was told. Oh, wait. Sorry, guys. I meant under this table for these guys. Okay, guys, thank you everybody for coming. We have plaques for each one of you guys. Thank you so, so much. Please give them a round of applause.
Saturday, 5 o'clock at T-Mobile Arena, live from Las Vegas. It's nighttime.
Guys, we're going to give you a plaque, and then right outside the door, we're going to take one quick photo with the plaques.
You want to do it with the plaques or out? Photos.
Whatever you want.
Let's do photos without plaques right outside the door.